What's good, YouTube? It's Coach Ruben back here with another video. So this video is going to be called Can You Build Muscle on a Calorie Deficit? So what's the answer to that? Absolutely. It's extremely hard, but you can do it. Now, rather than focusing 100% of your time on the workout and the training and all that stuff, we need to focus on one specific thing, your diet. And the reason for that is because at this point in time, you want to lose a lot of fat and you want to build muscle at the same time. So your diet has to be on point. Now, do you have to be in a caloric deficit to still get the same exact results? Absolutely not. There's a thing called body fat recomposition, which is basically, it has a lot of the same principles. But majority of the times, if you want to be in a caloric deficit and still build muscle, first thing you need to do, your caloric deficit cannot be super high. This means you can't be eating like 500 to 600 calories below your maintenance. You have to basically stick around 300 calories at best. Like the lowest you can go down is to 300 calories. The second thing you need to do is make sure you're eating enough proteins, make sure you're eating enough carbs, and make sure you're eating enough fats. And the reason for this is because your macros are going to be your best friends when it comes to the amount of food you eat and the types of food you eat. There are certain foods that have more protein than others. You're going to have to pick the ones that have more protein. But also you have to be very careful with the amount of calories that they have. So not only do you have to pay attention to your protein intake, but you have to pay attention to your calorie intake. So this isn't necessarily ideal, which is why a lot of the fitness community tells you you have bulking phases and you have cutting phases. 100% true. A lot of people just find it a lot more easier to just bulk and cut, bulk and cut, bulk and cut, rinse and repeat. They have maybe like a couple of months where they're not in a bulk and they're not in a cut and they're just eating at maintenance. And then for the rest of the year, they're either bulking or they're cutting. 100%. But that's not necessarily ideal for the average person. So how do we do this cut, but also build muscle? Again, back to the protein, because the protein is the essentials on building muscle. You need to intake a high level of protein, roughly about 40% of your total calories, 40% of like your overall eating for the day, or 10% of your total calories. So for example, you can eat 40% of, you can have your carbs, your fats, and your protein. Proteins would be 40% of your food, your intake, right? Or you can eat 2,500 calories and eat roughly a maximum of 250 grams of protein. This will make it easier for you to be on a cut because now you're eating a lot of protein, which means you're a lot more satiated. And then the second thing is you're effectively not hungry most of the time. And when you are hungry, you eat protein and you're good, right? So you're regulating your metabolism, but also your metabolism is learning to burn more calories because protein is a harder type of food to burn through. It takes a little bit longer, which is why people say it's like, if you want quick energy, eat some carbs, don't eat protein. Protein will slow it down for a little bit. So yeah, again, you can do this. It's just extremely hard, and I personally don't recommend it for people, especially people that are not into like bodybuilding or powerlifting. I would say don't do that because realistically speaking, you're just gonna be spending a lot of your time learning how to eat the amount of food that you need to eat. I would say instead stick with the maintenance and do the exact same thing. So stick with the maintenance, eat high protein, make sure that your calories are hit every single day, and you'll gradually lose weight and also build muscle slowly. Now, obviously, your training does come into a factor here, but it's like, at this point in time, it's like 60% of the work or like 40% of the work because realistically speaking, your recovery is what really needs to happen in order for you to actually see the muscle like grow and build. A lot of people have it backwards, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people kind of get stuck when it comes to training and bettering their body, bettering the lifestyle, and seeing the results they want to see from the gym. But yeah, like that's basically the gist of it. Just focus on your nutrition majority of the time when you're in that deficit to build the muscle. Focus on the macronutrients that you need to have. Obviously, your micronutrients matter to some degree, but as long as you're paying attention to what you're eating, you should have a very general understanding of how your macronutrients are transcribing. Also, find apps to track your meals and track your macros, because those things help out like wonders. MyFitnessPal is a great one. There's a whole bunch of other apps out there nowadays. So most definitely you can figure out a way to track your meals and track your calories, so that way you can see if you're overeating or undereating. If you're undereating, then that's probably a reason why you're not losing any fat and you're not building any muscle. If you're overeating, then that's probably a reason why you're gaining a lot of fat and your strength is just like up the wall at this point in time. But that's basically the video, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Like the video, comment, and see you in the next one.